Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Pijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tera Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Govinda Govinda Radhe Jaya Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya 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 Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya 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 Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Om Vishnu Padma Abhay Channa Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtotar Shadasha Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Gausti Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dwarika Dham Ki Jai Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maiya Ki Jai Yamuna Maiya Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtapraya Shravadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Ravavati Naishtike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Nalina Nitraya Venuvadya Vinodine Radhadara Sudapana Shaline Vanamaline Mahabhava Swarupastvam Krishna Priya Variyasi Prema Bhakti Prade Devi Shiradhika Tvam Namostate Ramaya Ramachandraya Ramabhadraya Vedase Nathaya Raghunathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today we will read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, Pastimes of Lord Ramchandra. Tomorrow happened to be a divine appearance day of Sri Lord Ramchandra. So we'll read a little bit from Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 9th canto, 10th chapter, Sri Shukadeva Goswami, he explains the wonderful pastimes of their Lordship, Lord Ramchandra, in nutshell actually. It's not elaborately, but he covers everything in that. In the first verse of this 9th chapter, he says, Shri Shuka Uvacha, Khatvanga Daha Dirga Bhavusha Raghus Tasmat Pratushravaha Ajaha Tato Maharaja Tasmat Dasharato Abhavat. Shukadeva Goswami said, the son of Maharaj Khatvanga was Dirga Bahu, and his son was the celebrated Maharaj Raghu. From Maharaj Raghu came Aja, and from Aja was born the great personality, Maharaj Dasharath. So this is the dynasty of Lord Surya. In his dynasty, Lord Ramchandra was born. He appeared actually. He took birth in their dynasty. And what is the reason of his appearance? See, generally, as Lord himself explains in Bhagavad Gita, that paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga. He comes for two causes. First thing, paritranaya sadhuna, to protect his devotees, sadhus, and vinashaya cha dushkritana, and to annihilate the miscreants. And third thing, dharma samsthapanarthaya. He comes to establish the principles of religion. So what is this religion? And how he does that? In the age of Treta, Lord appeared to establish Dharma. The first written literature in Vedic era is Ramayana. That's the first poem written by Adi Kavi Valmiki. And there he explains about their lordship. He says, Ramovgrahavan Dharma. If you want to know what is religious principles, then you can see them in personification in their lordship, Lord Rama. He is the one who established all dharma very perfectly. He is the embodiment of religion. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. He came and he established those principles. See, when Lord Krishna, he comes, he appears in this world, he performs wonderful activities, but you can't imitate them, can you? Someone, he came and he said that, oh, Krishna steals, then you glorify him. Then why should not I? If he's a god and if he can steal, so let me also do that, Then one sadhu, he told him that, okay, you can do that. But before starting stealing, he drank poison from the breast of Putana. Can you do it? Take one scoop of poison, drink it, and if you survive, then you can also do stealing, Because you can't imitate the activities those have done by Krishna. But what he has said, you can follow. But what Ramchandra said and did, everything you can do. That's the speciality of this particular incarnation of their Lordship. He came, he appeared, and he showed how to perform all religious activities as per your capacities, as per the level of your consciousness. And here in the second verse, Shukadeva Goswami says, Tasyapi Bhagavan Shesha Sakshat Brahmamayo Harihe Anshashena Chaturdhagat Putravantat Parthitaha Suraihi Rama Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna Iti Sadnyaya. Being prayed for by the demigods, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, the Absolute Truth Himself, directly appeared with His expansions and expansions of the expansion. Their holy names were Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. This celebrated incarnation thus appeared in 4 forms as the sons of Maharaj Dasharath. See, impersonalists, they think that Lord is impersonal. He does not have form. But here, he clearly says, Tasyapi Bhagavan Shesha Sakshat Brahmamayo Hari. Sakshat. Sakshat means directly the same Supreme Personality of a Godhead, He appeared here. He has a father, that is Dasharath, and he has a brothers also, Bharat, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. So he is not impersonal, he is a person. Here he nullifies the impersonal philosophy. And second thing, why he comes in 4 forms. Chaturdha Agadhari, that's what he says here. He comes in 4 forms, but same person. When he appeared in Dwapar Yuga, he appeared in Mathura, Balramji appeared in Vrindavan or Gokul, Aniruddha and Pradyumna, they appeared in Dwarka. That time also 4 expansions of the Lord they came. Lord Himself and other 3 expansions, they Ansha, expansion, and the expansions of expansion, they appear. But the speciality in Rama avatar, He appeared in a same place in same house and to same parent. They had the same father. And he came there, and they were not different from each other actually. All had same potency. Vanshidhar Goswami, who gave commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, he has wonderfully written down how these four are non-different to each other, how they are same personalities. But according to their position, they exhibited the different religious activities that they have performed. There is only one religion or religious practices or duties. Those are given by the Vedas. But to understand them, we need to read Puranas and Upanishads, because they explain the Vedic religion very lucidly so that we can practice it in our life. Otherwise it's tough, to understand Vedas and the religious activities, or especially Dharma that has explained in the Vedas. Prabhu Ramchandra, what Dharma he followed? He followed the Manushya Dharma, that is Samanya Dharma, that each and every human being they should follow. One can born as a man, but to become a human, he need to follow certain rules and regulations which are explained in the Vedic scriptures. So Lord Ramchandra, what he followed is a Samanya Dharma, a common practices that everyone, being a human being, everyone should follow them. So what are those? In Vedas it is said, Satyam Vada, you should speak truth. Priyam Vada, it should be palatable. Then Matru Deva Bhava, worship mother as your own God, because she is the one who has given you birth. Pitru Devo Bhava, Guru Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. All these are Samanya Dharma that everyone should follow. And Lord Ramchandra, he did that. He became a perfect son, he became a perfect husband, he became a perfect friend, he became a perfect brother. Everything one supposed to be in particular relation, he is embodiment of that perfection, of that relation. And everyone should follow this, Being a human being, if you want to call yourself as a human being, then you should follow what Lord Ramchandra has done. Otherwise, the whole humanity will be doomed. That's why nowadays they put it on the t-shirt, being human. Because they are performing so unhuman activities, obnoxious. They eat meat, they drink, they booze down, they forgot their own existence. And they do all worst things that those are done by the animals, not by human beings, not meant for human beings. So if you really want to be a human being, then you should read the wonderful pastimes of the Lord Ramchandra. And from them we can learn how one can practice in perfection the particular relations that has exhibited by Lord Ramchandra. Then what Lakshmana had followed, that is called as a Vishesha Dharma. It is special and it is meant for special personalities like sadhus. They are not obliged to follow everything what Vedas says, They have their own way of accepting things from the Vedas and use them for the betterment of their spiritual life. And that's what sadhu they do. They don't get married, they don't accept any social obligations or responsibilities. For them, Tvameva Mata Jipita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhucha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Dharmam Mama Deva Deva. Oh my Lord, you are everything for me. You are my father, you are my mother, you are my brother, you are my friend, you are my guru, and you are my ultimate destination. So I don't have to do anything for this world. And that's what sadhu they do. Everyone can't do that. because everyone has some attachment, so they should follow Samanya Dharma. But someone who is on that stage where for them Lord is everything, then they don't look anywhere. That's the Lakshmana. When Lakshmana, he came to know that Lord Ramchandra is going to exile for 14 years and Maharaj Dasharatha asked him to quit, He became so angry. He came to Lord Rama and he said, what is this? What's going on? My father, he is an old fellow. He has lost his intelligence. Lord Ramchandra, he said, what you are saying? Whatever he has done, he has followed his dharma because he has given a promise to his wife and he has to fulfill it. So he is following that. And anything that our elders, they do, who are you to point it out their mistakes? Lakshmana said, I don't know anything. Lord Ramchandra tried to console him. Lakshmana, now I am going to exile. So nobody is there to take care of this kingdom. Even Bharat has gone to his maternal uncle's place. So why don't you take care of all our three mothers and father who is now sick and old? Lakshmana said, how that can happen? No, you should be king. He has declared yesterday that you are going to be the king, and now how he can give that promise to his wife? It's like today I have given you something and tomorrow someone else comes and he asks the same thing. Can you able to give that? Because it is already given to someone. How you can give it to other? He said, already he has declared and he has given it to you. Then how he can take it from you and give it to Bharata? It can't happen. Here is my sword. I am ready. I will put him into the jail. If Bharata comes, I will put him also into jail. You become a king. Ramchandra said, what you are saying? Keep quiet. He's our father. And we should respect our father. We should respect our parents. And you should do it. He said, forget. It is your dharma. You can follow that. You may care for your mother. You may care for father. He said, why? Lakshmana, you should understand that he is our father. He has given birth to you. He said, forget. I don't have any obligations for mother, father, brother, etc. Forget about that. For me, my eternal father is you, Lord Ramchandra. Because every birth, I will have different fathers. So whatever commitment or whatever obligations that I have for my previous father, I am not able to fulfill. So I have to carry on each and every lifetime. Forget, I don't want that. You are my father and mother Sita is my mother. So that's enough for me. You just order me. I will put him into the jail. Lord Ramchandra, keep quiet, keep quiet. Otherwise I will come with you. He said, okay, you come with me. Keep quiet. So that is what sadhu, For the pleasure of their lordship and for their service, they are ready to quit everything. Can you imagine? He would have been the Chakravarti Samrat, emperor of the whole world, if he had just followed the Lord Ramchandra's order that you become a king. But he said, forget, I don't want this. And he accepted 14 years exile, even though he is not meant for that. But just for the sake of serving their lordship, he accepted that. That is Vishesha Dharma. That was followed by Lakshmana. 14 years he never slept. Neither he ate nor he drank. Can you imagine? That's his special dharma. You can't imitate that. It's not our cup of tea. Then, better than that is Vishesha Tara. It is superlative degree. Best, good, better, best. So, the better one is, the best one is Bharata. His activities that he performed for the pleasure of their Lord Ramchandra, or the dharma that he has performed, it is considered as Tara, Vishesha Tara Dharma. Why it is Vishesha Tara? For the pleasure of their lordship, he was ready to put himself in any condition. He was not obstinate that this is the way I want to serve. No. His way of serving, whichever way it pleases to their lordship. Like Lakshmana, he said, I want to do this, so I am doing it for you. Bharata was not like that. He was ready to accept the way Lord Ramchandra wanted to give him. And that is prema. So, tara, Visheshtara Dharma is followed by the premis, the really people who are really in love with the Lord. They don't want to put their lordship in a soup, And Bharata was ready to accept it. Can you imagine? He was given the kingdom, but he never ruled it. He never said, I can't do that. And he was the most intelligent person. That's what Vasishtha Muni, he says in Valmiki Ramayana. And he says, whatever you say, we are ready to follow. Lord Ramchandra also says, whatever you say, I am also ready to follow. Why? Because that is premi, who is in love, Because that person knows better way that how he can please his object of love. And you can see the whole charitra of Bharata. It was not much discussed anywhere actually. But if you really read about him, you will understand that how much intense love that he had for Lord Rama. When he heard that his mother is cause of Rama's exile, he straight away abandoned her. He said, no more, she is not my mother. He abandoned the kingdom, which was given to him actually. He just gave it to her. He came to Chitrakoot to meet Lord Ramchandra, to request him. He came with whole kingdom, to request their lordship to come back again. Then Lord Ramchandra he asked, okay Bharat, if you say, I will come back. But just imagine, our father, to just keep his word, he has given up his life. And how, being a Raghuvanshi, I can turn my face away from my father's promise. And still if you want, I'm ready to come. Then Bharata, he immediately understood that, no, that's not the way. He said, okay, you don't come, but give me your wooden shoes. Let them be a king of Ayodhya, and I will be their representative, and I will take care of Ayodhya. So he took the wooden shoes of their lordship, and he worshipped them as exactly their lordship. Even it is explained when he has to take a decision or make a decision for the management of kingdom, he used to sit in front of that padukas and he used to pray. He used to converse with them, and Lord Ramchandra used to talk to him through padukas. Can you imagine? That was his love. He had so intense love for that Lord, he never left Ayodhya. He stayed in the form of his wooden shoes and took care of that Ayodhya. And how austere he lived. Have you heard about how austere he lived? Bharat Maharaj? Every day he used to feed some barley to cow. When cow they used to eat and it comes out from the cow dung, he used to wash it and boil that in cow urine. And that he used to eat every day. And he has done it for 14 continuous years. Can you imagine? And he was an emperor of whole world that time. That was Bharat Maharaj. He used to go to take bath in a Sharyu early in the morning. It's like a third prahara, around 2:30 at night, so that other people should not see his face. He used to go take bath, and while coming he used to put all Sharyu mud on his face so that people should not see his face. He was considering himself so lowly because he is the cause of the separation that everyone is feeling for Lord Ramchandra. He is the cause of their separation from Lord. See, that was his humility. And that's the dharma of a premi. And furthermore, the better than that, Visheshatama, that was followed by Shatrugnaji, the youngest brother who followed the highest dharma. What was his dharma? He never wanted to be with Lord Rama. Neither he wanted that his service should be noticed by Lord Rama. But he wanted to serve them who are very dear to Lord Ramchandra. And in the Adi Puran, as Lord himself says, if someone says that he is my devotee, he is not my devotee. But if someone says he is a devotee of my devotee, he is my real devotee. So Shatrugna wanted to be a real devotee. So what he was doing? He was serving them who were in separation of Lord Rama. Bharatji asked him, you don't stay with me, because as Lord Rama, as Lakshmana is always with Lord Rama, Shatrugna was always with Bharata. They were like two bodies and one soul. But here, Bharata asked, see, I have taken vow, until Lord Ramchandra comes back, I will not enter Ayodhya. So now you have to go and take care of everyone, because all they are very much dear to Lord Rama. And for their pleasure, you have to accept everything what they can do it for you. So with a broken heart, Shatrugna, he came, because he was feeling deep separation from Bharata, and he was thinking that my all elder three brothers, they are living in a forest. And I am the only one. Being a youngest, I am living in the city, and that's in the palace, and accepting all luxuries of life. But this is for the pleasure of Lord Ramchandra. How is that? Because everyone in separation. So he came to Mother Sumitra and he asked, Sumitra, when she saw him, he said, Shatrugna, why you are back? All your brothers are in forest, and how come you are in the palace? Then he explained everything. This is what Bharat wants from me. Then please tell me, who is the most dearest person for Lord Rama in Ayodhya? Then she said, go to Mother Kaikai, because she is the dearmost for Lord Rama. Amongst these three mothers, the most of the time, the milk that he has drank from Kaikai. And she never considered him as a stepson. She always considered him as her own son. And since Maharaj Dashrath has left his body, for last 28 days, she has not drank a drop of water even. And she is very, very tough. So go to her and serve her first. So Shatrugna came to Kaikai's palace. And when he came, he saw that there is no opulence at all, because her palace was the most opulent palace, because she was the most dearest queen of Maharaj Dashrath. So all facilities were there. But when this time Shatrugna came, he saw that it was like a forest. Nothing is there. No opulences, nothing. It's like a totally empty house, you know. And then he saw in one corner one lady sitting with white sari wrapped. And she was very frail and weak. And because Manthara was fanning her, that's why he was able to make it out that this is Kaikai. So he went. As soon as Manthara, she saw Shatrugna, she went back. Because few days back, this is the same fellow, he came and he kicked her with anger. So as soon as she went back, Kaikeyi immediately understood that someone has come. She looked at Shatrugna and said, Kumar, my son, just wait. Everything is done by me. There is no fault of Manthara. If you want to punish someone, then I am here. Then immediately Shatrugna, he came and said, oh mother, I am so hungry. And she was shocked. She said, what, you are calling me mother? I am the one who is the cause of your death of your father. I am the cause of your brother's exile. And you are calling me mother? And you are asking me for food? Don't you think that I can poison you? I am the one who has caused all this catastrophe on each and every person here. And still, he said, oh mother, I don't understand anything. I am hungry. I have not ate anything for last 30 days. Get something to eat. So immediately, Kaikeyi asked Manthara, go and get milk. So Manthara, she ran immediately and she brought one glass of milk. And he gave it to Kaikeyi. She gave it to Shatrugna first and he gave back to Kaikeyi and asked, you drink first. She said, no, I can't. You asked for, you drink it. He said, how I can drink? You only taught me that we should feed first elder and kids. You are the elder one, you should drink first. She said, no, you drink it. He said, I'm so hungry and unless and until you drink it, I'm not going to drink. Then she drinks that. So this is how Shatrugna, even though he was so much pain that he had in heart, but he wanted to please their Lord Ramchandra by pleasing his devotees. So he made her drink. In same way, he came out of his palace and he went to each and every citizen's house, calling someone as uncle, auntie, or mama, mommy, like that. He was asking them, I'm hungry, feed me, because none of them they ate for last 28 days. So he went to each and everyone's house and he requested them, hungry, please make something so I can eat. In that way, he made everyone eat. Next day morning, they call Bhat. Bhat means the person who comes and wakes up the king, They come and they glorify the king with beautiful poems, That is in the glorification of king. So they came and they started glorifying Shatrugna. He was feeling like that someone is pouring hot iron in his ears because they are glorifying him. But he has to accept because these people, they said, we're supposed to do it for Lord Rama, but he's not there. Now we want to do it for you. So please accept it. And for their pleasure, because they had that intense love for Rama, so he accepted them from them. I will go 5 minutes more, Prabhu. Okay? So, then they came to bathe him, with a scented water. And they wanted to massage him with a chandan paste. He felt like his body is burning because of that paste. Even though chandan or sandalwood paste, that should cool down your body. But he was feeling that thing in his heart because all his brothers, they were in forest and he is having all these facilities here. So for the pleasure of their lordship, he was accepting these particular things. If Lord's devotees are pleased, then Lord will be pleased with him. In this way, when Lord Ramchandra, he appeared to establish this dharma that should be followed by all human beings, irrespective of caste, creed, nationality. This is what one should follow. As per your stage of consciousness, as per your stage of rasa, bhava, you can follow these activities. And that's why it is necessary to read Ramayana. If you read Ramayana, you will come to know what are the relationships are. What is the real fulfillment of relationship? And that's why Valmiki ji, in his Ramayana, he says that Ramovgrahavan Dharma. In the Ramayana Mahatmya, there is a nice verse which clearly explains Shri Rama Sharanam Samasta Jagatam Ramam Vinam Kagati Ramena Pratihanyate Kalimalam Ramaya Karyam Namaha Ramatrasyati Kala Bhima Bhujago Ramasya Sarvam Vashe Rame Bhaktim Akhandita Bhavatu Me Ramatvam Evam Ashrayaha. This is very wonderful prayer, where they say Shri Rama Sharanam Samasta Jagatam. The whole world can take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord, because He is the shelter of all the world. Samasta Jagatam Ramam Vinam Kagati. There is no other destination than the lotus feet of the Lord Ramchandra. Ramena Pratihanyate Kalimalam. It is by the name of Lord Rama, the whole Kalimala. Kali means Kalaha also. Because, why there is a Kalaha? Because there is an envy. So, that envy in the heart can be destroyed just by chanting the name of Lord Rama. Ramaya Karyam Namaha. Everything is meant for His pleasure, nothing for, all the activities meant for His pleasure, nothing is meant for our own pleasure. Rama Trasyati Kala Bhima Bhujago. It's Lord Rama whom the Kala means time, it gets fear of, it is afraid of Lord Ramchandra. Kala Bhima Bhujago. It's like a biggest snake, that is Kala, because it devours everything. So he is the one who gets afraid of Lord Ramchandra. Ramasya Sarvam Vashe. Everything is controlled by Lord Rama. And that's why he say, Rame Akhanda Bhakti Bhavatume. Let me get Akhanda. Akhanda means continuous, without any breaks. Akhandita Bhakti Bhavatume. Ramam Tvameva Ashrita. I have taken shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Rama. So if you have this particular mood, then it's possible to get rid of all our anarthas. So let's pray at the lotus feet of Lord Ramchandra that whatever our capacities that we have, according to that we can follow the religious activities that is meant for us to elevate ourselves in our spiritual life. Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman ki jai, Shri Radha Govinda Dev Bhagavan ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.